Good evening once again, everyone. It's so lovely to see you guys here. Thank you so much for having me once again. Big shout out to the guys at the huddle for organizing such an amazing event to spotlight and also bring together amazing creatives in Lagos, Nigeria. I think that the first event, or their first event, which I was a part of, or which I attended, I I specifically mentioned that um, creativity, design, photography, just name it, has started becoming something that is not really accessible to a lot of people. So once you start designing, or the moment you realize that you're a big designer or you're a big creative, you start unfollowing your following or your followers. And I think that because of that, many people that really want to join the creative field or join the creative space have been finding it very hard to probably find someone that can put them through or someone that can bring them to such an event. So I appreciate that this is happening in our lifetime. So my name is Deji Oluokun. We'll still get to the slide where you guys get to meet me more. Okay, so let's go right into it. So I recently watched a session done by a friend of mine. He does motivational speaking, coaching, and stuff like that. And he kind of like discussed what it means to know what your why is and why your why is important. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Why you're doing something, why you need to understand why you're doing something, and why that is important for you to understand. So, at the end of the session, he said this your energy flows to where your why goes. And eventually, as we go along, you guys will understand this better. Like I said, my name is Deji Oluokun. I make stuff fancy and I make people laugh. In the making people laugh section of my introduction, I make people laugh with the work that I do. I'm a photographer. I mean, everybody is happy when they're taking photos. And I've done design. Also, I used to be an art director. Eventually, you guys will learn about that. I make stuff fancy. Obviously, design and photography is about making stuff fancy. So these are the things that will probably come out or come up in my session. I am an artist, I am a designer, I do both creative and web design, all-round creative, that's why you guys are here as well, we're all creatives here. I'm a fashion photographer, I used to be a fashion stylist, and I do film now. So basically this is a summary of my journey so far. 2008, around 2008, I took fine artists serious. This was the only thing I could find, to be honest, because most of my stuff maybe I probably lost them in school or something like that. So I used to be an artist. I used to draw people, get the dough, get the bag from that. Eventually, I learned creative design, graphic design, illustration, and I started doing that. When I started, mostly the stuff that I did, most of those stuff were for musicians. I'm pretty sure most of designers here can relate. So you do graphic design for your artist, the guy that sings, so you do cover for them, album art and stuff like that. And eventually, um, God helped my life, and while I was in 300 level, a friend of mine reached out to me and told me that his brother was starting a creative agency and they needed a designer for their main client that time, which was Globacom. So while I was in 300, I used to shuffle design with, obviously, school. I mean, I cannot feel now. So I was shuffling that. By the time I finished school, by the time I finished service, the guys were already talking about making me a full-time designer. So I served in Oshogbo, Osho State. I don't know if many of you guys have been there. It's a pretty chilled place. except that they don't pay salaries to their teachers there. I served in Oshogo, so immediately I finished my service, I came to Lagos, and that was probably my second or third time in Lagos. So pretty, I can pretty be under the category of those people that probably came to Lagos for greener pasture. So I started working, my first agency that time was Web Coopers. They do digital design. So I was designing there as their art director. Around that area, they onboarded me as a web designer as well. I mean, I didn't know how to design websites, a website or stuff like that, but and you know, startups, they want you to do like 5 different things, but their job description is that you're doing just one thing. So when you come in, they will say, help us do this, help us do this, help us do this, and they will pay you the same salary. But that really helped me because along the line, I picked up a lot of things which I still use till today. 2016, started doing mostly art direction, and I think most of us understand when you transition from being just a graphic designer to an art director. That means that you have to do more research into clients' needs, into clients' problems. You have to probably be presenting to clients at that point in time. You have to be working hand in hand with your creative director and also do mostly team lead in design. That was 2016. Around 2016, 2017, I had switched companies like 3 times. I'm sorry, I like to always jump so that I know that I'm not a local champion where I am. So I like to always like take up challenges and just like go to another company and see if I can still perform. So I'd like to always change companies. So around this 2016, 17, I had already worked in like 3 different places. Jumia was one of them. I was opportune to replace the most talented designer that we probably know, Adekunle Gold. So he left and they needed a designer, so I was the one that they hired at. So when I got it, they were in love. The expectation was like this, because Adekunle is a badass designer, trust me. The things that you see online, they are probably like basic stuff. He is a badass designer. So expectation was like this, and bro, I was just coming from. But I mean, Jumia really helped me. If you have someone that wants to go work in Jumia, I would say 50-50. You can go, you cannot go. But if you go to Jumia, by the time you come out of Jumia, you are a streetwise designer. A streetwise designer, because Jumia needs their work now. Like, forget. The head of marketing is coming to the design team directly herself. Like, there's no, let me hide behind my creative director so that he can go and say, we are not ready. She will come and meet you. Deji, how far this work? So, like, by the time you leave Jumia, you are, see, trust me, there's nobody that can bully you in design. So 2019, so between 2018 and 2019, many people in the office, as at that time in Jumia, used to ask me what my plugs for fashion were. So the shoes, where did you buy it? The shirts, where did you buy it? And I kept getting so many questions as to plug me to this, plug me to that. So I realized that I could make something out of it. So I started styling people. And styling people really helped me to face clients more than when I used to be a designer. So being a designer, you go with your team, right? So you can always run, if the speed has dry in you can always run behind your creative director or probably behind the copywriter to complete your presentation for you, right? But for being a stylist and owning a business, you need to actually speak with your clients. You need to speak with fashion designers, speak with tailors, speak with this, speak with that, speak with photographers as well for the shoot that you want to do with. So there were a lot of things that were required of me to do. So one problem was constant, and it was photographers in the building. Please listen, because your names are not really good on the streets. One problem was very constant, and the problem was that photographers were not keeping to time. So you say, let's shoot 12. Myself and my clients are probably there like 11:30 and stuff like that, and photographer is coming like 1 o'clock. So most of my clients at that time that I was styling kept complaining that, Deji, if you could photograph, right, we could have done this work before this guy even probably got here. So I kept getting that, and then in Jumia also that time we needed some original photos because if you know Jumia very well, their banners on their website, they've probably used all the Shutterstock images, all the black woman smiling, black woman shopping, like. So at some point, we were so bored of using those photos and wanted to create original images. So I was part of the team that directed the photography that we did, the photo shoots that we did that time. And from that time, around the area, I realized that this is something I can actually do. So randomly, I picked up a camera one time from a friend, and I shot a mini lookbook for a friend I wanted to release some outfits that time. And from that time that I did that shoot, started doing it. So these were some of the designs that I did back then. I did logo design. Like I said, most of them were for artists that, upcoming artists. I think I was opportune to do some things for more hits that time. Then some other guys. But the money will not come to you, Sha. It's probably the middleman. Say, I have a designer, You do the work, then you keep texting him. After like 4 days, you're tired of asking him for the money, so you just move on. These were some of the things that I did in Jumia and after Jumia. I picked up UI UX at some point. Yeah, I picked up UI UX at some point. I think that I completed 2 mobile applications. Yeah, I think I did. I completed 2 mobile apps. After that time, God helped my life. I went into a proper creative agency, Image and Time. Shout out to those guys. They really helped me. They helped me harness my entrepreneurial skills. So something about Image and Time. I don't know if you guys know the agency. They're in GRA there. So something about them is that they want their guys to own a business or 2. So it doesn't have to be a big business, but they want to see the kind of ownership that you can have when it comes to clients and briefs. So it's like, guy, we want you to go and do this thing with these clients. Just probably speak to the person. And so if you own a business or if you know how to face clients, there's no way. If they send you to Katina or Kano right now to go and talk to it, you will talk to the person. Last. The person will say, sorry, we cannot give you this business. But that will not be on you. That won't be your problem. It would probably be a budget issue or something like that. But that you won't be able to talk to clients, it's not possible. So that's what owning a business really helps you to do. So also my portfolio really went from like 0 to 100 working in Image and Time. We had clients like Nestle, Junior Bank, Pernod Ricard, LVMH. There were a lot of beautiful clients then. Their names are nice, but like working with them can be. Yeah, I think Jameson was one of my favorite clients at that time because those guys were really ready to explore with design. So that's like the background of everything and where I kind of like picked up like most of the things that I do or most of the skills that I have right now. So we have 2 lessons that I want us to hold to heart today, and those 2 lessons are probably going to they're going to sort of explain my story, my growth, and how I see life in general to you guys. And the first thing is stand out and be intentional. If I want a black pair of shoes, I want a black pair of shoes. If you say, Uncle, there's white though, I'm not going to. How many people are like that here? If I want white shirt that has stripes on it, if you say, Uncle, there's polka dots, I will not collect. Like, I am so intentional. I love going for what I want. And that has really helped me in almost all the aspects of my life. So I am I'm a big advocate of being intentional. So one of the major projects that I've done since I started photography is shooting for Samsung Nigeria. So, quick backstory: Samsung wanted to release. No, they had released the phones, but they needed to roll out materials to push the phone in the market. So people were already using some people were already using the phones. So they reached out, sent the the basic stuff, sent the email. I'm pretty sure they probably sent the email to like 10 other photographers. So yes, now small boy in the industry. I started running up and down, did creative direction, did treatment, did everything, mood board here and there, and sent them. Eventually, when we started shooting, the head of marketing came to meet me and he was like, "Bro, see, I know that your money is plenty, but we gave you this job because you were very intentional. So I promised them blue props with pink props with red props, and when they got to the set, they met those props. There was no question, or there were no conversations as to, sorry, the yellow props that we promised you, we could not get it, so we say we should use. There was nothing like that, and it really, it got to a point that like some my guys kept bringing more stuff, right? And one of the guys came to meet me and he's like, is there space for this? Like, what are we going to use all this stuff for, right? So it's better to over-deliver than start giving them stories if you cannot deliver what they want you to deliver. So how do you stand out, and how can you be intentional? So the case story that I want to use today, like I said, is the Samsung job. What really stood out in my presentation, like I said, was me being intentional. In my presentation, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to be, so my bio on my Instagram is creating globally relevant images. So the idea of wanting to do stuff that if a top photographer from any country steps into Nigeria like this today and they want to see people's portfolio or people's Instagram pages, right? When they see my page, they can, to an extent, say, is this person Nigerian, right? So that the things are not too local, and at the same time, they don't look like a typical, just a Nigerian photographer. So when I sent my presentation to them, we did roughly like 20-something pages of like styles, colors, ideas, and I went further to give them ideas as to how they're going to style the talents and what the talents should bring to the set. So this was what I did. When the creative brief came, and they said, and typically the creative brief is just like, I'm pretty sure you guys have probably seen briefs. They're probably like a page or two, Word documents. There's nothing, right? So the creative brief came and they said that there are 3 phones, and the phones are going to be like very premium phones, and they would love to shoot celebrities, right? So the talents that we were supposed to shoot, or that we shot eventually, right, were Tenny the musician, Ebuka, Tokema Kiwa, Tanya Omotayo. So they said that they wanted to shoot these guys, and because of what these people stand for and what we know them for, like they are very exclusive people, right? So they want to position these products like that, because like products are expensive. So the creative brief came. So we sent in the. So this is typically what the brief looks like. So they said the photography shoot will feature Samsung as a stylish, fashionable brand, blah, 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 blah. And they would love to shoot them Tokema, but they wanted to appeal to Gen Zs. So, like, the math was not, right? Because, like, obviously, these guys are not Gen Zs, right? So what we wanted to now do was to style them looking like Gen Zs and make sure that the theme just come through as something that a 96 or 97 born person can actually want to buy. So like I said, came up with a mood board, and we sent to them. So these are the factors that I looked at in the mood board I sent to them. And when you are a hungry artist like I am, what you don't listen to is don't overshare. Like most creatives or most made creatives will tell you that do not overshare until probably you guys have decided on what the budget is. Because they can carry your idea and go use somewhere else. But if you're trying to make it in life, or you're trying to be big, right? If you want to, there's a project and you would really love to be a part of it. Trust me, there's no way you can sell to the client or the potential clients without oversharing. There's no way. Because you want to do more than impress them, right? You want to tell them that I know my onions, like, bro, this is Samsung, your color is blue, right? And I know all the complementary colors of blue that I will shoot your stuff on, right? You want to tell them that you know how they can style their art. Like everything that you know in your life, you want to share, right? Just because you want to get the job. And 50-50, the job might come, the job might not come. It might be a budget thing. It might be a political thing. We have a guy. Oh, okay. We have a guy that wants to do the shoot for us. Sorry, we are going with. Do you understand? But deep down in your conscience, you know that you impressed them. You know that you did the work. So what I did was, I looked at all these things. I suggested styling ideas for the talents. That meant that I had to do like 3 different slides for each talent. So we had 4 different talents. Like I said, Ebuka, Tenny, Tanya, and Toke Makinwa. So I went in and suggested styling ideas, 3 different slides for each person. So that's already 12 slides, right? And we still have hair makeup, what the makeup should look like, what their hairstyles should look like, what their poses should look like. Because I remember very well when Tanya came on set and like she was done with makeup and everything, the first thing she said, like every other person that wants to come and do a shoot, is, I don't know how to pose. I cannot pose. It's a lie. Go to their Instagram page. They can pose, die. But just because they want to trust that you will help them deliver what they are meant to. Because Samsung is paying them for the work that they have come to do, right? So this is them saying that, bros, I beg, I've collected the money for this job. Help me. Because they believe that right there on that set, your authority matters, right? So what we just did was, I just brought my producer, please bring the slide for model poses. And it's as simple as that, right? Unlike, please put your head like this, put your hand like this. They might not be able to get it, but just show them, this is what I want you guys to do. And it was just, location, suggested a location. We shot somewhere in Ilupeju. The place was big enough to accommodate our props. Props and set design, like I said, I suggested that lighting. This is not the mood board, by the way. I think I sent the mood board to. I sent it to you. So maybe if time permits us, you guys can see that. Lighting, the colors that we're using as well, I suggested that. And these were the shoots. So we had 2 days to shoot. We shot on a Thursday and a Friday. Thursday and a Friday, yes. We shot on a Thursday and a Friday. So we shot 3 talents on Thursday. We shot Tenny, Tanya, and Ebuka on the same day, and we shot Tenny the following day because they said Tenny wasn't in town, something like that. It helped my life, Sha, because by the time we finished shooting, even 3 guys, it was already like past 7 or past 8 or something like that. So it was so late, and we were on set from like before 9 because we had like a lot of things that we needed to do. So in standing out as well, so after we've gotten the job, right? In standing out and being intentional was for us to say, we promised these guys that we would use so number of props. How can we deliver? Trust me, there's no better first impression than that. First impression, last, forget. What people want to see, what your client wants to see is that you said that you will give me a green backdrop. Where is it? And photography is a visual thing. Like, you can't say, maybe when the developer is doing it, he's going to do one code, but like, it's something that you can see, right? So they will say, Deji, the whiteboard, where is the whiteboard? So being intentional and standing out from your colleagues is to say you promise them this so that they will not say, it's typical now. That's how photographers do. Another thing that made us stand out as a photography brand on this project was how we treated our clients, how we treated talent. So the client, Samsung, right? They came late. Their guys came late to the set. So I think we had like 2 talents on set before they came. And I remember very well that one of them came to meet me that Ebuka wanted coffee. Coffee for photo shoots. I mean, like, to be honest, I had people saying that, so the studio that we rented to use, I had people saying stuff like, go tell them, say, you know, if you do coffee now, it's not part of the budget. But to be honest, how much is coffee? To be honest, how much is coffee, right? So my guys so we shot in location, like I said, my guys went to Spa, they bought coffee, probably, I'm not sure if we finished 1 cup of coffee. But like, they asked for coffee and we provided coffee. Eventually, it's a conversation we could have had with them that coffee wasn't part of the budget. Please give us our money. But that's after we provided it, not right there when they're asking for the coffee. That's another way that my brand really stood out. So we were very, how do I put it? We were able to take feedback and quickly implement, as opposed to probably dragging with the clients. So this was all on set. Some of the challenges, the first one is a no-brainer. They wanted to do, obviously, these big people, right? So obviously, we had to bring the best. So in terms of styling, in terms of makeup, in terms of hair, so like the people that, I remember very well, I think Chukema Kenwa came with her own stylists, right? And obviously, the money that one will collect is not. So the ask was obviously not the same as what the budget was. Managing the talent and crew, I think because of how we were just smiling and being nice to them, they didn't really give us hell, because between you and I, people told me that if you shoot Tokema Kenwa and be successful with the shoots, you're actually going to take a lot of bullshit. To be honest, Toke was one of the best talents on sets that day. I'm not capping you guys. We did TikTok. We were laughing, like it was just a fun shoot. So managing the talent and crew obviously was a challenge, but I mean we succeeded in that. Managing time, it was a mess. They were almost kicking us out. So these were some of the photos that we came up with. I really needed to show you guys what the mood board looks like. Maybe can we do it now? Later. Okay. So that you guys can put side by side what we promised them and what we eventually delivered. So these are some of the photos. There's like a bunch of photos that we delivered. But at the end of the day, just wanting to stand out and wanting like to have that impression at the back of their minds that we shot with one boy, Deji. He has not done more than 3 years in photography, but that guy was professional, right? I mean, they came back like twice again, but by the time we gave them the budget, they said, Deji, your mouth don't be good. But like, they came back, right? Which was probably what my prayer was at that time, because as a hungry person, I really wanted them. I wanted a name like Samsung on my portfolio, right? And I was having this conversation with one of my friends yesterday, saying that those people that are always saying that don't be doing things for exposure, bro. If you're hungry, you do stuff for exposure. Like, let's be real, right? Because eventually you will be filled up. You have enough in your tummy that you cannot carry shoulder. But at the point that you needed to, like, Nike is coming here to come and do a shoot, and you are saying that I'm not going to do a creative direction deck of like 20-something slides to show them that I can do this. I will do it. So even at the end of the day, if they take my deck somewhere else and execute it, I know that it wasn't my fault that they did not give me the job. So standing out and being intentional, you promise them yellow background, give them yellow background. There's no, sorry, we wanted to buy it, but clients don't like it. They might obviously because you're already shooting, understand. They might understand, but trust me, it will come up in their conversation at the end of the day when they're trying to give you feedback. The second lesson is be audacious. I've spent 4 years in photography now, and if you ask me tomorrow, next tomorrow, that what is the biggest project that I've ever done in my life, I will tell you guys that it's a personal project, and it was my exhibition. So, as a fashion photographer, I started being, because like I said, I was a fashion stylist, so I already knew that I was going to be shooting fashion, right? As a fashion photographer in Nigeria, I think I'm probably able to name like 2 or 3 people that I know are into exhibitions on anything art. Because like, to be honest, like that's not your forte. Like, it's fashion you're shooting, what are you exhibiting, to be honest? But like, I wanted to do something that when you sit at a corner at an event and they are reading your biography and they are saying that his name is this, blah, 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 and he has done this, he has done that, you are confident that whatever you're going to say to the people that are going to listen to you is not going to be BS. Because you've been there, you've done that, right? So, 2 years into photography, trust me, like I'm not even capping you guys. 2 years of photography, I remember that while I was doing design full time, I really wanted it. I wanted to do an exhibition. I remember very well that a friend of mine called me on a Saturday that, how far did the exhibition they wanted? This was probably 2016, 15, that we should go around Lagos to look at galleries. I went to Red Door Gallery. And they saw also, we wore palm slippers or something like that. They saw that we entered Uber to enter that place. And we were saying, sorry, we want to do exhibition. And they were giving us 5 million for 3 days or 4 days. And I looked at doing was where are we going to get 5 million for? Do they think that probably someone sent us to come and ask this question? Like, now we cannot do this stuff. And that was 2016. So when I started photography and I realized that photography isn't really doing just having jobs for me. It's not just doing that for me. It's making me meet people. That's one of the biggest blessings of being a photographer or a filmmaker. If you own a camera and you're working with it, meeting Buhari is going to just be, hello sir, that's it. Like there is no, you need to write a proposal. Like when you're going to meet like probably your idol, probably one of the biggest celebrities, it's just going to be like that. Because that camera is your ticket. You can enter anywhere, almost anywhere. I mean, like, obviously, your portfolio should, say, you've done this thing, okay, please enter, right? But the fact that you own a camera, you can handle, you can do work with it, it will take you almost anywhere, right? So I realized that just being on Instagram, I was getting people that really, really loved to see my work come up. Like, once my work come up on Instagram, I know, like, constant, like, 10, 15 people that would drop comments on my page. And I realized that eventually, like, this, maybe not fan base, just some sort of friendship, right? This friendship was, like, more than just Instagram followers. These guys really wanted to see my work, and they were even telling people about my work. So I said to my friend, very well, I just told her, I said, Mimi, she's not in Nigeria, she's not in Lagos right now. I said to her, I want to do an exhibition. Like that one, and she's always allowing my nonsense. So you're like, yeah, let's do it. I was like, bro, let's do it. Isn't no money we're going to use to do an exhibition? So 2020, we started thinking about the exhibition. Obviously, lockdown. It's not lockdown, there was no money, let's not lie. So we started thinking about the exhibition, and because I had already thought about doing an exhibition, like just having, it might just be a small space, just having an exhibition since like 2016. So like I had started building some of the creatives or some of the artworks that I wanted to exhibit. So at that time, I had, I think like 6 different artworks that I would love to. They are old, but like I knew that these people needed to see these things. So we started planning the exhibition. Late 2020, we started texting, emailing, calling spaces in Lagos. And I remember very well that terror culture was always coming up whenever we go and search for spaces to exhibit. But I'll tell my guys that time that, nah, I'm not calling terror culture. There's no way. We cannot have their money. To be honest, like, so each time we go, we see places that we want to exhibit or we can exhibit at, we just like overlook terror culture. Then a friend of mine came to visit me one time. Then we had a shoot. And then she was just saying that she just left a friend right now, blah, blah, that the guy was going to terror culture to do some sort of meeting. I was like, people go to terror culture like that. Because to be honest, it was like national theater to be like, people just go there to like have meetings like that. Say, yes, it's just an open space now. Like people go there, meetings, some people go and shoot them. It's a lie. Oh. So we went back to our search, terror culture contact, we called them. And I can't forget the person that picked up our call. He said that, hello, this is terror culture, Yakubu is not here. I'm like, what? I said, who is Yakubu? He said, that's the art curator for terror culture. He's the one that's supposed to pick this call, but he's not here, so we cannot even have any kind of business conversations with him. I said, when is Yakubu coming? So I remember very well, we called that person on Thursday, around between 5 to 6 p.m. I was like, he has left on that Thursday. He doesn't come in on Fridays. He doesn't come in on Saturdays. We might get him on Sunday, but we should just call we might get him on Sunday, we should just call on Monday. I said, no problem, can they give us Yakubu's number? So the guy said he was going to text, and eventually he texted it to us. So I said to my friend, Joanne, she's in UK now, that use female voice to talk to Yakubu. Because, like, obviously the guy has left work, so he's probably in traffic or something. He's going to be cranky. He's like, just use female voice to talk to Yakubu. And, like, she did an amazing job. And Yakubu said that no problem, that he was going to call her directly the following day, which was Friday, that he doesn't come to work. Long story short, Yakubu called, we started having conversations. I learned that terror culture was open to upcoming artists. So they had a plan. See, if you don't ask questions in this life, they had a plan that for upcoming artists. And the plan was that we'll pay so amount of money, and then they will take commission on each of the pieces that we'll be exhibiting. Bro, I did not even ask for what the commission was. 2 years in photography, I am going to have my own exhibition. Take all the commission. Just give me your space. Because I saw more than just that exhibition. I was seeing myself being in the space of people that have exhibited before. Like, it's a different bragging right to have an event, even if it's house party, and people come. It's different. It's different. Many people will do games nights, nobody will show up. It's not because they are bad, it's just because Lagos is stressful. When traffic, I'm coming, I'm sorry, coming from work, like stuff like that, right? So I wanted to try having an event in Lagos, which is obviously not my town. I'm from Oyo, by the way. Oyo town, not because once you say Oyo, so many people just think that it's Ibadan. It's not Ibadan. There's Oyo town in Oyo State. Oyo is not a developed place. Let's not lie. We have one university in Oyo. So just being here, just seeing you guys' faces, to be honest. If I call my mom and say, I speak somewhere, blah, 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 she's very happy, right? Because like these things are just dreams to someone from that side. So I did the exhibition. It was a success. We had 18 pieces. I can remember that we sold roughly 12 pieces. The remaining 6 pieces, Terra Culture called me for another exhibition, a joint exhibition, and they took the remaining 6 pieces. They even asked for some other pieces like that. So we're part of that exhibition, and since that time, I think 2 or 3 of my pieces have been in Terra Culture. Like Bolanle Peters, God bless that woman. She's just naturally my fan. I do not know what the factor was, but each time that I saw, she said that they didn't want to be opening their spaces or their space to upcoming artists anymore because upcoming artists have started doing the same things that the established artists are doing. So each time you go for any exhibition is going to be the same paint on canvas. So my exhibition had fashion in it, had digital art in it. There was no painting. We printed everything. So because of that, she said that they were going to do something new for the first time. So she was just laughing at me every time. Like I don't know this woman, but like she was just so. Eventually, she started opening more opportunities, just giving more opportunities to exhibit my work. So, the recovery exhibition. So 2016, when I started thinking about it, was when I came up with this. The dumbest story, I had an accident. And after the accident, I was getting better. I just realized that I would love for people to see my stuff before I die. I didn't think that it was going to be an exhibition. Let me not lie. I was just thinking maybe I should upload my stuff on my website. I remember very well after I left the hospital, the accident was a bit. So after I left the hospital, I launched my website. I launched my websites. I built one for design. I built one for some other thing. Eventually, I turned that one to photography. So I just said that, bro, like I can't be having all this work that I'm doing and people are not seeing this stuff, right? Of course, there's Instagram page, but like there are other people that are not following me on Instagram. Maybe I had like 1,000 something on Instagram that time. So I said, you know what? I'll keep doing this stuff and I'll upload it somewhere. So that was 2016. Fast forward 2021, when we had this exhibition, we obviously had to create more stuff to exhibit. So we did some stuff. This was one of the pieces. This was when we printed. This was the, excuse me. This was the opening of. We had the exhibition, and we also instructed people on what to wear. So the exhibition was, if you entered terraculture around the time that we had the exhibition, it's a mess of colors. There were colors everywhere. So we said people should come with a splash of colors as well. And to be honest, my guys came through. So we had a mini photo booth that people could take photos outside. And on the close, so we had an event for the opening of the exhibition. And so an average number of days that you get at terraculture when you're exhibiting is 2 weeks. So that's like 10 days. So when we finished, so on the ninth day, I was at the space, and Yakubu, which was the art curator, said that Madame wanted us to extend the exhibition. Bro, I didn't even know what that was. Like, I didn't ask if they wanted more money or something. I said, okay. Said that she really liked that my stuff really brought people to terraculture around that time, and it was just something for her to really brag about. So they extended this thing for another week. So we had, instead of 10 days, we had 15 days. So on the closing, we told people to wear white. Too much extra. So it was just, so the exhibition was more than just coming to look at the pieces. It was an experience. The people that you meet there, the kind of vibe that you get, the age range of the guys, it's almost like, we've always gone to exhibitions and we've been seeing these established artists, 40s, 50s, right, exhibit. So this time, there's this below 30 guy that is exhibiting. So like, many people could really come through to relate to the story of a young person that is exhibiting. So, so we had that. The challenges, obviously, money, cost of everything, literally, printing the frames. Most of the frames that were printed were like very huge. So printing was hell. Creating, obviously. We had makeup artists, hairstylists. Just think of all the vendors for an average photo shoot. So we had to bring people to produce or to shoot the pieces that I wanted to exhibit. So like it took a lot of time, took a lot of paying this, paying that. Getting the work done, it was a lot of time. Imagine organizing an event in Lagos. Just think of it. So we started doing It was my first time that I learned that you have to put the following of people that are coming to your event so that you can get money. So you have to say Timini is coming, and Timini on Instagram has 5 million followers, so that the brand that is going to invest in that or sponsor or partner will know that if they bring their booth and Timini takes a picture somewhere there, they will know that the brand was a part of it. So proposal went on like 40-something slides of just making promises and knowing fully well that Timini might call the day before and say, bro, I did South Africa like this, I don't go feel me come. So what do you tell Absolute? Because I remember very well that we did a proposal for Absolute, and we even promised Absolute that we were going to do a photo booth and we'll brand with Absolute. Eventually, it didn't come through. They said that the timing was not right for them, because as at the time that I wanted to do this exhibition, they had already decided on the budget for the Q2 period. So these are the people that I met this guy once. He got my number, got my Instagram. We talk now, but just once. And I asked him if he was going to come. Obviously, what would you have said? Bro, I'll come. I put him on my proposal. Alex, Deji, my photos, blah, blah, blah. I sent our photos to her. So we did a shoot for Octa FX. Alex was there. I sent her photos to her. I was like, Alex, I'm having an exhibition. Will you be able to come? What would she say? Yeah, Deji, yeah. Put her 2.9 million followers. I talked to this one. Such an amazing guy. I'm doing an exhibition. He said he would come. They did not come. But like that's not to say that we did not try, right? We tried and we see. I said confirmed guests, because they said they will come. So we started sending proposal. At the end of the day, we didn't get any partner. To be honest, it's not sad. It just it just meant that we had to spend the money that we did not have. One thing really helped me while I was planning my exhibition, and it was because I had a side hustle. I was still a full-time designer in my agency that time, so I started saving up salary. My exhibition was in 2021. 2022, obviously lockdown, so we're not going to the office to work. So because of that, right? Because of that, we're not obviously incurring cost of going to the office. So you just go there, house, buy lights, right, and just do work. So it really helped me to save up. And apart from that, we were able to shoot while we were on Zoom calls. Hello, Deji, are you there? Sorry, come again. I cannot hear you, bro. I'm shooting. I'm shooting. Work calls, Zoom, any Google Meet. Sorry, my network was bad, bro. I'm shooting. Right? So we're able to create the pieces that I wanted to exhibit. So that really helped. I mean, COVID-19 was not a good thing, but to be honest, it was a blessing for me. We created stuff. 2021, my office decided that they didn't want us to come to the office anymore. We should just stay at home. Thank God. We were shooting. We created more than like 20 different pieces, but obviously, like 10 of the artworks made it to the list that we exhibited. So these are 4 of my favorite artworks that made the list. The key takeaways from what I've been saying since, know your why. It will help you pursue excellence, and it will help you to be relentless. It will provide you with a sense of fulfillment. I've said this to like almost everybody that I've met. When I was going into photography, I knew I was going to do fashion photography. Like, there was nothing like, sorry, what do you do? I do fashion, I do wedding, Nah, it wasn't like, I used to boast about it that I was one of those photographers that were doing just one thing. And because I was doing just one thing, it really helped me focus. Because I'm not going to shoot weddings on Saturdays and coming to shoot an editorial in my studio on Monday. I knew that I was doing just so. Even when I did small weddings. So even when those jobs came, or like whenever I hear stuff about this person that is shooting this wedding is probably collecting like 5 point something million, it would choke me that bro, I'm not collecting. But knowing my why, knowing the reason why I'm doing it, will not really make it choke me that much. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Because it's like I'm losing, but it's not because I am trying and I'm losing. I am not trying to be a wedding photographer. So whatever loss that I'm getting from there is not really going to, do you understand? Except if a designer is paying 5 point something million for a lookbook and it's not me, that one is going to pay me. Because it's my field and they are making that kind of money, I'm not making it. So obviously, that means I have to do something different. Right? So knowing your why, knowing why you're doing something, it's going to help you pursue excellence. Like I said, if you check my bio on Instagram, it's there, creating globally relevant images. Like, I want to do photos that, if you take my work to UK or take my work to Canada or something, they will say, is this person in Nigeria? And to be honest, trust me, it doesn't require too much effort. It just requires you to be very intentional. Study how these guys create. And still like an artist. It's not... Right? So knowing your why is going to help you. And it's going to help you stay relentless. I called so many spaces when I wanted to do my exhibition. I can't lie, bro. Lagos is expensive. Lagos is very expensive. Like, before they even ask to send your work or to just like look at your work, they're already billing you. If you're doing 3 days, it's this. If you're doing 5 days, it's that. White Space give us mad money. Radio give us mad money. Omenka, do you understand? Because obviously they will give you that kind of billing so that they see the person that is serious. Because obviously only God knows how many people call them in a day, right? So knowing that you really want to do something and why you're doing it will make you stay relentless to the end. It will provide you with a sense of fulfillment. Like I said, if a colleague of mine is collecting 6 million naira to shoot a wedding right now, it's not going to really pay me like that. Because like, the clients wouldn't have come to meet me in the first place because I don't shoot weddings, right? And like, I'm filled like that, I'm fine. You have to be intentional. It's the only path to doing great work. When David told me about starting the huddle, in his words, he said it's going to be like NPR Tiny Desk. Bro, when I entered this place the first time, I saw Tiny Desk. Because literally this is how Tiny Desk is, right? So being intentional will make you not really explain yourself too much. Because people see that you've promised this and you're doing exactly what you promised. And you have to be very intentional with almost everything in life. If you want to buy a Corolla, and obviously people are going to say, don't buy Corolla, buy small. How many people have been faced with that kind of decision? You want to buy your first car, they will say, quickly buy that type of Uber Corolla for your first car. Because obvious reasons, maintenance is not good to maintenance is not going to be very... So they will say to you that, for your first car, don't be thinking that you want to buy a Benz. But some people are buying Benz for their first car. So, fast, pray, Benz will come. Right? But you guys get the point. It's wanting to do something and being sure that you want to do it, then you go for it. Do it. Be intentional. Even when they bring the Benz and it's red Benz you want and they bring black, say no. It's my branding, I want red Benz. Go and bring me red Benz. I'm paying for it, right? So collect your red Benz. So that when they bring that black Benz, 3-4 days into you owning that car, you'll not be complaining that if it was red now, it will not be dirty now. To be honest, because if they force something on you, or if they suggest something that you don't like, that you don't really like to you, and you eventually take it, trust me, complain. Small thing. Even if the car is making a sound, you say it's because it's black. Do you guys get what I'm saying? So try and stay intentional. If you want a black shirt, get a black shirt. So that when you get to your events and you see everybody wearing black shirts, you don't say, and I will go another shop, buy the black shirt too. You will not be complaining about anything. So being intentional helps you to stay on the path of doing or achieving great work. Be audacious. Basic is too basic. Like, it's literally, like when you say it's like pronouncing basic is like, do you understand? But when you say excellent, it's another word, but like it just feels like it's thick, like quicker oats. Do you understand? Like just be audacious. All right, thanks, man. All right, so yeah, just be audacious. Do something extraordinary. Just
challenge yourself and go for it. I'm good. I want to play a video for you guys. Two videos actually. Can we roll the video now? Thank you so much, guys.